Hi everybody, it's Julia, your trusted travel expert from Matheson Travel, bringing you that je ne sais quoi wherever you are in the world. And this week I want to talk a little bit about managing expectations when you are planning to go to a place you've dreamed about for a long time. You want to make sure that you know what to expect so that you actually have the dream fulfilled, so you have the expectation fulfilled. And excuse me, because I'm in selfie mode here, so it might be a little shaky. And I've also trying to mute out the noise of the waterfalls, but I am in Plitvice Lakes National Park, and so there are sort of waterfalls all around me, and it's just stinking gorgeous. And this is one of my personal bucket list places, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about that this week. So one of the first things is, where you found out of the place or what you're expecting. What are your dreams of the place? And for a lot of people, the pyramids or Taj Mahal or Plitvice Lakes National Park, there's lots of video on it, lots of photos on Instagram, for example, websites, this and that. Well, sometimes destinations come alive on video or photographs, and you've got professional photographers or videographers that make it look spectacular, and they sometimes cut out some of the practicalities, the difficulties, the crowds, things like that. So you want to make sure that you do your homework, do your research, and know what to expect when you get there. And I've got two recent examples of to sort of compare and contrast where something I'd been waiting to do for a long time met my expectations, and one time where it didn't. And so the first one that we'll talk about is Plitvice and the lakes, and it is really totally filling my dreams. I mean, it is not maybe exactly as the photographs say, but it's stinking cool. It's gorgeous. Here, I'll sort of spin around. You've got a big lake. Behind me around the corner is this big wall of waterfalls. Right behind me is one coming down. Right next to the staircase, you can see the water just running down the hill. It's just a really, really beautiful place. And I've been able to navigate the crowds. Obviously, there's nobody around me. I'm up at the top end of the park at the end of the day, and I've finally left all the crowds behind, which is a very good thing because it definitely is quite a crowded place. But there's a reason why everyone comes, because it's so cool. The other end of the spectrum is last week in Venice, which is another really crowded place, but a wonderful place, really another really big bucket list place for people. And I had never climbed to the top of the bell tower in St. Mark's, the Campanile, I think is what they call it. And so one of my people in my travel group had gone the day before and was just raving, and his pictures were gorgeous. And I was like, oh, I want those pictures. I want to do that. So I've got an hour and a half free time. Surely that should be plenty of time. So I run over to St. Mark's and I get in line. And I wait in line and I wait in line and wait in line. Finally get up the elevator, and then when I'm up there, yay, I get to see the views, but I have to wait for people to clear out so I can actually get my camera up and take the pictures and all that good jazz. And then I got to wait in line to get down. I mean, it took almost all of an hour. And for me, that, that's an hour of my time standing around in the heat with the crowds, and, a postcard might have done, or, the pictures on Instagram might have done. I forgot to even take one that I can post on Instagram from my phone. They're all on my big camera because I was in such a rush because it took so long. So that's one that didn't really work. So I want you to think about your trips, where you've been, and how they've met your expectations. Sorry, shaky. And I wanted you to think about why they either met your expectations, or why you maybe had a really crappy time. Because nobody wants to have a really crappy time. You've invested the money to go and see the place. You've invested the time and the energy to find it and deal with the crowds and this and that. So think about what it is. Is it just crowds? Because there are ways that you can avoid crowds. For example, I did go into St. Mark's with no crowds because I went with a tour operator that took me there after hours. You can stay in the national parks and, get into the park early in the morning, or Disney, for example, you can stay in the park and get in early morning before everybody else and avoid the crowds, or are you okay with crowds, but you just have to be prepared? You have to have your fast passes, or, you have to learn how to navigate the park like I've done here, because I did not get here first thing in the morning. So think about those sorts of things, and, or maybe it's the type of experience. Like maybe for me, going up to a tower in a city is not as fulfilling as going and walking around a national park. Everybody's different, and you just have to think about what floats your boat when you're planning your next trip, because everyone always asks, what's the best thing, or what's your favorite place? And everybody's different, and everybody's bucket list is different. And even the experiences on your bucket list are going to be different. And your experiences of those, when you do finally go to them, will be different based on your preparedness and your expectations. So I just wanted to give you a little food for thought there, and share a little bit of Plitvice Lakes National Park in Croatia with you. So that's it for this week, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.